Can you see the slides?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, perfect, because I can't see myself. Right, so as I said, I was experimenting a little bit with a tool called Graphy AI to help us visualize our results from the pre-training survey questionnaire. First of all, thank you very much to all those 90 PRISM network members for completing this survey. And we have a good mix of different roles. We ask you about your proficiency in AI, and the majority, I would say, mark themselves as one, although there is a good mix of people already being experimenting with the AI tools, which is great to see. Now, we've also asked you about how often do you use AI in your work. Also, there's a good mix of some have never been using AI tools, probably here today to hear more about it, whilst other using it on daily or weekly or monthly basis. We also ask you about your main objective.
Just to say, if you think you're moving your slides on, they're not moving on.
Oops,
we're
sorry.
still on the title slide.
Oops. Clearly. Okay. Sorry. Thank you. So here are the results from Graphy. Okay. A mix of roles in the room based on 90 respondents. Some of you said, mark yourself as low proficiency, as having low proficiency in AI tools, and some of you are actually quite good. So in terms of how often do you use an AI, the majority are using on a monthly basis. Some of you have never used the tools. And the main objectives for using AI tools are writing and editing, communication and dissemination, but also reporting and data analysis and all other tasks that AI can definitely help with. Right. I then asked it to generate a word cloud to tell me what are the tools that you've already been experimenting with. And Graphy said, sorry, I can't help with this. So I went to ChatGPT, and here are the tools that were mentioned in the form. So again, a good mix of different tools. And I'm sure Anshu will give us a great idea on how to use these tools in a meaningful and responsible way. So this is it from me. I'll stop sharing. I hope this was a good base for our discussion today. And now I want to introduce all of you to our instructor for today, Anshul. Anshul, just a moment. I need to find your bio. Yeah, it is. So Anshul Lau is the head of digital learning at Anna Freud Center. He's leading the development of digital academy dedicated to mental health education. Anshul has over a decade of experience spanning higher education, the creative industries, and even the British Armed Forces. And he brings a rare blend of expertise in innovation, accessibility, and learner-centered design. Anshul is a graduate of Alan Turing Institute's Data Science and AI Educators Program, and he takes a thoughtful, ethical, and creative approach to using AI in education. And today, Anshul will introduce us to fundamentals of AI, and we will explore together on how we can use these amazing tools to help in our work. Anshul, over to you.
Thank you so much for the brilliant introduction. I think you've covered most of it, and I planned as a part of the slide, but thank you for that. And can you give me a thumbs up if you all can see my slides? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Uh, So Marina has already introduced me. So I'm Anshul. I've got over 14 years of experience as a digital innovation technologist. And firstly, I'm delighted to welcome you for today's session on artificial intelligence, which I've tailored specifically for PRISM network colleagues. The questionnaire that you completed was really helpful for me. And to tell about myself, I've worked at several institutions, primarily higher education sector, and I also work at British Army right now in their virtual training development team. It's a weekend role. I create e-learning courses for the British Army. And I'm passionate about accessibility, playful learning, and course designing is one of my specialism. I'm also a Lego serious play facilitator. If any one of you have played Lego or would like to introduce Lego at your institution, I do deliver sessions for institutions just to introduce colleagues to how to use Lego as a pedagogical tool to for brainstorming of ideas, and it could be for senior staff members, leadership team, or even for students. So this is an overview about my role particularly, and to give you an overview of this session, over the next 40-45 minutes, we'll explore the exciting world of AI in a very clear, beginner-friendly way. So I do not want to overwhelm you. I'll basically start with the scratch and show you how to get started with AI. And I will familiarize you with few things you can do it yourself. So because you'll have time, and there'll also be an opportunity for a second follow-up session if at all there is a need for you to see something else or more in depth or detail, or I can also cover some different applications for you to be more creative. But in this session, I'll fundamentally cover everything that you will need to get started in your particular role. And we'll talk through foundational knowledge, how you can talk to AI effectively, and how you can personalize tools like ChatGPT. And we will also touch on ethical dimension and most importantly, how you can begin using it confidently as a part of a short demo. So I'll take 10-15 minutes for 10 minutes approximately for the slides, and then I'll jump onto the demo part. Artificial intelligence, like as you can see the definition, is the ability to offer machine to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, like interpreting language, recognizing patterns, or predicting behavior. But here's the key: AI doesn't understand. It only predicts patterns based on the data, and it's very fast and convincing, but it's not conscious. So think of AI as a hyper efficient parrot with a library card to every book ever written. It mimics language expertly, but it can sound impressive, but it doesn't know what it's saying. So if that analogy works for you, this is it's like as a sum up, this is what AI is and what it does. And you'll hear different types of AI being mentioned. What we use today is called narrow AI. It's task specific. Example could be ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini. And general AI is the AI which could think like human, which is still in development. It's very hypothetical in nature right now, and it's not real. Another one is generative AI. Like we are focused on can generate essays, emails, images, even videos based on your prompts. And anything that you ask it to generate, it'll never be the same. It'll be distinct. And before I move further, I'll want to even present the history of AI. AI has been with us for around decades, but the pace of development accelerated with transformer models introduced in 2027. These models clearly understand the relationship between words and can process large sequences of text. This enabled the breakthroughs in tools like ChatGPT, which were introduced in uh, November 2022. If you are already familiar, can you share or in the chat that what do you think in how many days ChatGPT took to reach 1 million users? Any estimation? I can share with you stats around Netflix, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. If you can suggest anything around ChatGPT, that'll be brilliant. Let's see if you can get close enough. Oh, 1 day, 2 day, 50 days, 4 days, 12 hours. That's bit as that's much quicker, but I'll think I'll not invest more time. So it took 5 days for ChatGPT to reach 1 million users. So currently it has a user base for over 400 million users. And it took ChatGPT nearly 2 months to reach 100 million user base, which is a world record for faster adoption than Instagram, Spotify, and TikTok. So ChatGPT is now the people even know AI as ChatGPT also, but there are multiple applications. But for ChatGPT, it has become one of the most rapidly adopted digital tools in the history. Other tools might you might already use something like Grammarly, Spotify, as it's already shared. And also another one was DALI, which was image generation tool, which is already embedded in ChatGPT Plus account. And how ChatGPT works. And ChatGPT works, it basically, as I mentioned in my previous slide, it reads a vast quantity of text and then predicts the next most likely word in a sentence. It doesn't go out and search for the facts. Instead, it generates answers based on statistical likelihood and learn patterns basically. So think of AI like a trained dog. You show it what to do, you give commands and reward the right response. AI systems are trained using massive data sets, so which we even call large language models. So ChatGPT is a large language model which have been trained on internet scale data to predict what comes next in a sentence. It learns patterns in how humans speak and write. And you've already been using AI, even you haven't noticed, from Google Maps updating your route to Netflix suggesting your next series. There are some examples of screenshot I've taken that you might already be using, which are powered by machine learning. The difference now is that these tools are being placed in your hands to use effectively, be it Alexa or even Siri or even anything that you use. It's driven by AI. So AI is powerful, but it's not flawless. I must mention that. It can reflect bias present in the data that is trained on. For instance, job description generators may mirror gender stereotypes. Another issue is hallucination. AI making up things and presenting them confidently. That's why it's crucial to use human judgment, especially in sensitive fields like education. If you, for example, you ask write 3 or 4 references, it can give you possibly 1 or 2 real references, and other two might be just made up. So you need to make sure that whatever you are output you're getting from ChatGPT or any other AI tool is reviewed by yourself. And let's look at some real application in education. So senior leaders can use AI for drafting consultation responses or shaping communication. It can help create workshop agendas or even summarize policy documents. It's also great for anonymizing case data or producing quick outlines for strategic initiatives. So it's just basic examples that how you can use ChatGPT if you have not used before. And on a personal level, I use AI to help me plan a trip, suggest a weekly grocery list, or even write a bio for LinkedIn or be it any other social media platform. It basically works like an intelligent assistant that saves you a lot of time, helping you articulate what you need based on the behavior pattern you register with the platform. And ChatGPT or other GPTs can nearly write every written task. I have used it to rewrite net etiquettes for online courses that I support, summarize meeting minutes, and even rephrase project bids. Other use cases can be to plan sessions, simplify journal content or for your learners, and prototype assessments. Researchers can also use it to write plain language summaries for proposals also. And so prompt engineering is how you talk to AI. So I wanted to introduce you to prompt engineering also. So people do use AI, but to use it effectively, you need to understand how prompt engineering works. And in this session, my aim is for you to become from a beginner to an expert when you're using prompt engineering and making the best use of any AI platform. So a prompt is just an instruction, but the way we phrase it can hugely impact the results. Think of it like giving directions to a chef if you're visiting a restaurant. If you say make something nice, you might get something or anything basically, but that might be delicious. Whereas if you say a chef to make a vegetarian pasta, maybe less spicy, lots of cheese, then you get something delicious for your own taste buds. So that's how a prompt can make a difference to the output that you may get from an AI intelligence software or application. So I even mentioned during my introduction that I'll also be introducing to you to customized GPT. So with a customized GPT, you can build an AI that behaves the way you want it to behave. You can instruct it to speak in a professional tone, always refer to UK education policy or prioritize brevity. It's like setting up your own virtual assistant who knows your preferences and how you would want it to behave. So creating a custom GPT on an average takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and there is no requirement of a code, honestly. It's just clear instruction that you can input, and that would allow you to create a customized GPT that I'll demonstrate as a part of my session today. And why do you need a custom GPT? Imagine having an assistant who remembers how you like to document, frame, the tone you prefer, and pull up together responses in seconds. So custom GPT exactly lets you do it. You can even upload files or FAQs for it to work from. That can input data and it can extract that and work it for you. So you can also make it as a FAQ for other colleagues that if they want to ask you rather than coming directly or emailing you, they can use that customized GPT and get data from it. Whereas you will also be inputted who has asked and what they have asked so that it can confirm you that how you need to address or maybe build your Q&A or any platform, even the GPT stronger. So AI can be incredibly useful, but it should not be used blindly. I must mention that. And data privacy, fairness, transparency are very vital elements that you need to be very mindful about. AI can help you draft, but you must still be the editor, reviewer, and the decision maker for any output that you get from an AI platform. Always disclose when the content is AI assisted, especially in your educational context. That it's, I think even Marina shared in her slides that it's created by AI, but curated by a human. So that's always advisable. We do have every university has different guidance around AI. We do have guidance for students. Similarly, we also have for staff that they need to mention if things have been written using AI. And remember, AI is confident but not correct. It can sound polished but still miss the mark. Like I gave you an example of Parrot having a library card. It would answer you very confidently and perfectly, but it doesn't make sense to AI platform what is telling you. So always bring your own judgment to the final edit. And one slide I would want to share is just don't include AI in any project or your use case just for the sake of using AI, because many colleagues would think that using AI it advances, but pedagogical requirement or the case should drive the use of AI rather than AI itself. So to make a reasonable start, I think I shared this graph with you so that it gives you an understanding that it can help you understand whether you should use AI or not. So you can start, you can even take a screenshot. Otherwise, this presentation is recorded anyways. That should help you for reference later. So does the output really matter? If it doesn't matter, then it's fine to use AI. Otherwise, it's just confirming that do you have the expertise to verify or review the content? If yes, then go forward. Otherwise, it's unsafe to use AI. And just make sure that are you willing to take the full responsibility of what AI produces. It's just basically to ensure that you take the entire responsibility. And I must again say, AI is only an assistant that can help you be more productive and can save time. But the output it produces cannot be relied upon completely. It can be used for ideas generation as a helpful tool, but the information you can't just rely on the output it produces just on its own. And so these are the tools to explore that I wanted to share with you that you might already be familiar with. In the questionnaire. It was mentioned that there are some of the tools which are very specific to different tasks that can help you. These are the very basic tools that I've listed. So some of them are ChatGPT, Copilot, Perplexity, Claude AI, and I've also quoted the difference between ChatGPT and Copilot. So ChatGPT is great for broader interaction and experimentation, whereas Microsoft Copilot might be institutional driven, and there might be a policy for you to and to be using Copilot particularly. And because it also interacts with other applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or your Outlook too, which can enhance your productivity. But if you need help with drafting an email or creating a summary from your document, Copilot can still be used in that manner. But in this session, I'll be focusing on ChatGPT particularly. And like I mentioned, my aim is to help you become an expert in using any AI application from a beginner. So before I start the demonstration, I want to take you through the 4 steps prompting process that I've learned over the period of time, and I wanted to share that learning with you. So number one rule for AI is that you, when you're chatting with the AI, you need to tell it how to think. If it's a marketing tweet, then you have to say, for example, you are a marketer, say as a marketer, because then it uses that information to go around this neural network for information that matches that. And the number two step is to give it a context. You have to tell it what you're trying to do. If you're writing a weekly blog for your department, then tell it that you would want to write a better blog so that it understand the context you would want to give it. The number three is the command, what you want it to do. If you wanted to create 10, 20, 10 tweets or 2 emails or a couple of drafts, or maybe review your draft, edit your grammatical errors, or pick out that or enhance that, you need to give a command. And number four is format. Format is really important. You want to tell the system how you want to consume the information. You might want a spreadsheet, you might want a PowerPoint, you might want a bulleted text. That will give you the output. To summarize, always structure your prompt by giving AI a role, task, context, and desired output. Once you have done that, you'll see a difference in the output that you might be getting from AI. And before I come to the demonstration part, I think if we can pause, and if there are any questions from you, you can raise your hand or put that in the chat. And I'll share my other screen now to start a demonstration part.
So we have 2 questions. Pamela, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Clearly.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. What are AI agents? We have been talking about the AI agents as well, so I was hoping you would be able to, give us some perspective.
So I think I would not be able to dive much into AI agents, but AI agents are, I think they are platforms built on AI technology, basically AI agents. This is my understanding. I'm not very clear on defining AI agents very clearly myself.
Thank you.
Sorry for that. You can ask
Okay.
AI, what are AI agents maybe?
Anwen, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, yeah, thank you. The slide, I didn't quite have a chance to read the detail of the slide, but did you mention Gemini on the AI tools? Because that is what our university directs us to.
Yes, I did mention AI Gemini
Okay,
also.
I
So
just
it's a
missed that.
parallel platform like ChatGPT. So
Right.
for this session, I wanted to demonstrate using ChatGPT and even Copilot to a degree. But if you wanted to go deeper into other things, I can show that as well. So context and the use case might be very similar,
Yeah.
but the difference would be in terms of the output and the technology and what kind of level of access you have for the platform.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you. And I'll begin the demonstration. I'll also open my notes that I've made. So for getting started, I've literally typed in ChatGPT. As you can see that I've not even logged in. And so this is the 3.5 version of ChatGPT that anybody can use to get started. I'll ask, what is AI agent, as it was asked. So AI agent is software entered that uses artificial to perceive its environment and make decisions. So I think this would give you some understanding of what AI agent is. I did not give you it a very clear prompt because it's for my own baseline understanding that I'm giving it to ask. So what prompt engineering I showed you, if I'm doing a project or something, I could have asked behave like an AI expert and then give a understanding around AI. This, or maybe it could have been a research format, or it could have been a templated format, or I could have asked in that manner too. But to get started, I'll give you difference between what is a simple prompt and how you can get better with prompting to get started. I'm using a free AI right now, so there is no account also that I've got. But just be mindful, the free one would be using my data particularly to train its model. So I've given a prompt: generate a weekly meal plan for a vegetarian who needs high protein options and shops at Tesco. So it's searching the web, and then it'll produce the output or even provide me with links possibly, if I hope so. I will not spend much time on it, and rather want to spend time in showing you ChatGPT Plus and creating a personalized GPT afterwards. And these prompts I have not tested before. Oh, that's impressive. Storage bot. So it has given me a good overview of what I can buy, and I did not test before. Free has also given me some products mentioned with price list also. And now if I give it, I think, and this is the example of a basic prompt that you can give. And before coming on to the ChatGPT Plus, I wanted to basically even show you Copilot. In Copilot, some of you might already be having it. If your institution is a Microsoft based organization, then you should be able to use Copilot from your 365 account. So in 365, I've joined new. I've not linked my account yet. So if you add Copilot, then it will be able to interact with all the applications. Basically, you can ask it when find my presentation, find my emails, from the email draft and email reply also for you. But Copilot works similarly to ChatGPT. The only difference would be in an enterprise account. I think once it's loaded, I'll show you. There might be a green, some protected icon that should appear. That confirms me that my data, this, if you can see, the green enterprise data protection, this applies to my account because it's an enterprise account, and all my chats are encrypted and they're not shared as a part of data sharing. And even if I'll ask it something, it would not even store the data history of what I'm searching. The only limitation how I see this is, although from a data protection point of view, it's very safe, but if I have to come back to a chat, if I have already having an interaction, it loses that. That's the only concern I see it with Copilot. But if you would be able to connect that, if you're open to connecting that with your MS365 account, then you can be very productive, that it can interact with your multiple applications in Microsoft 365, and it could be a very productive assistant tool. It can help you, update you, remind you your upcoming meetings. So in that way, it could be very efficient if you're using Copilot. And this is the ChatGPT Plus paid account that I'll be demonstrating here on. So I showed you the same, I showed you a prompt that I used in free account. Let's see if there'll be a difference in the paid account. And I'm using uh, model number 4.0 rather than 3.5, which is free. I'm just curious to see if there'll be any difference in the output. It's just that it's slightly quicker, but as it's loading, I do not see much of difference, but because the other model was also giving me similar weekly plans. So from a prompt engineering perspective, so it's given me for the entire week. So from a prompt engineering perspective, how I could write it differently would be, it's also asking me, would you like the printable version, shopping list, or links, recipe links for any of the meals? If you want that, you can even ask that as a conversation. But if I show you from a prompt engineering perspective, if I have to ask something, I can ask it, you are a nutritionist, create a 7-day vegetarian, I'll rather than 7-day, I'll create 2 days to save time. Create a 2-day vegetarian meal plan that is high protein, uses only ingredients available at Tesco, ensure variety, simplicity, and format it by day with breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks option. But it's already done that for me even earlier on. So now it's given me a detailed plan, and it's also given me the uh, gram of protein percentage of the meal option that is suggesting me. And I can change the model and it can go more enhanced and in more detail also. So I'm just making a point that if you give a prompt different to a basic, the output, it would heavily rely on the prompt it's giving you. And I can even show a difference with another. I'm showing you right now personal examples. If you've never used ChatGPT and you do not want to use it for work purposes, so it's not just for work purposes. You can even use it for a personal capacity also. So you are an event planner. Create a birthday plan or party plan for a 6-year-old child who loves space. The party should stay within £150 budget, include 3 games, theme cake suggestion, and low cost decoration. Assume it's hosted at home with 10 children attending. I just came up with this cons considering that some of you might think or in a personal capacity would be able to use this. And I would suggest is the plan that it suggests come up with a suggestive amount and things. So you can still consider, you can go for higher up or reducing some of the things based on how you want to go forward with it. But as from a assistant or as a suggestion point of view, it really works well to get started with things. It's also suggesting you cake suggestions and what you can do as a DIY if you want to save cost. So this was one of the suggestions that you can use with AI particularly. But if you wanted to use from a professional capacity and you want to get started, so basically for this example, I'm showing you all within one example itself. But what you can do is you can create a thread entirely on its own. I can start a new thread and the birthday theme that is there, it can remain there, but I can start a new thread. But for demonstration purposes, I'm taking that all in one thread itself. So that's clear for my perspective, and I'm clear that what examples I've used here. So if I wanted to write a email, I can show you another example from prompt engineering perspective, that how you can get a better output from prompt engineering perspective. So you have to give it a role. For here, I've given a role that you are a program coordinator. I've given it a context now, draft and inclusive and supportive welcome email for students. I've also given it a tone and basically I've given it an output also, and I've uh, even established what I really need from it to do for me. So sometimes we literally ask it to write an email and not without clear context. So difference in the output would really be a lot different than if you give a very clear prompt. And I'll not spend much of time on showing you or different prompts, but I'll take you through few settings before I jump on to ChatGPT Plus. So this, as you can see, it has given me very comprehensive and detailed information. And if you want something, if you have used AI, you would know that. But you can ask it to even switch model here. If you want to change the model, you can even change the model here and then ask it to rewrite for you. And other thing that you can do is search the web for the similar things that it asking you, or if it's suggesting a link, it can search the web for you as well. And other thing I wanted to show you is, uh, or you ask me AI agent. Let me ask me AI agent, and I can select deep research. So there is a limitation on how many times you can use deep research in a month using a paid account. And when you select deep research, it'll do an extensive research. It'll even list out the articles it's read for you and then give you in detail. Yes, I'll even show you how to write minutes, meeting minutes, and I'll also show you different AI tools and applications that can help you write minutes from a meeting also. So deep research, it takes time, so I'm not going into greater detail. Oh, it's asking me, what could you clarify? What do you mean by AI agent? I need information. So if I'll stop it, well, just in the meanwhile while it's doing it, because it takes time for deep research to get started. So basically, what deep research would be doing is deep research will be starting to search articles from the internet, which is there. So it can present bias if there is a particular topic you're asking, because it's all searching from the internet. So I'll not invest much time here. I just basically wanted to show you how to use deep research as a tool. And other thing that I wanted to cover was, when you go, if you are having a plus ChatGPT Plus account, which I would highly recommend. It's worth investing into. And the difference would be the output that you get, the model that you get, the number of responses you can get. It makes a massive difference compared to a free account that you might be using. Whereas I have an option here, as you would have seen, I've switched off the quote. I've particularly switched off. If I'll go to, sorry, I'll go to data control. So I have switched off to improve the model for everyone so that my data is not used to improve the model itself. So by default, it's switched on. But if you want to switch off, you can do that. So the model would not be using your data to train itself. So I have deliberately switched it off. And personalization is another aspect because sometimes you think that you might be giving a prompt again and again to remind ChatGPT to what you want as an output. To save time, I had it earlier, I've erased it just so that I can show you. You can go to personalization and custom instructions. And here you can write how ChatGPT should address you. Maybe you can give a nickname to yourself or anything you want to call it, what you want it to do it for you. And you can also ask what traits should ChatGPT have, that how it should work for you. Anything else that ChatGPT should know. So I basically give it write in British English. Usually the default model is American English. I ask it do not write with dash or do not write in short forms. This was that I had earlier. So and always mention that always give me options. So whenever I'm getting an output from ChatGPT Plus, it always presents me with different options rather than only one output. So it saves me time from interacting with the model itself to ask anything further. And also, if I'm starting from scratch, you can I can even do create image or even search directly from the web. And other things that I would want to show you would be another is Sora AI. Not many people might have used this one, but I would tell you that if you get ChatGPT Plus account, you also get access to Sora. It might not be very useful tool, but it's good to know that the potential how AI is developing. So all these images that you're seeing are AI generated. I'll show you videos. And so these all videos are AI generated. You can even edit this video to take them further also. So if you want to make a fun meme or create a video to share with your family, your colleagues, if it could be metaphorical representation from a context from your research also, so you can do that and be innovative in your thought process and let AI do the job. And so I'll show you my media. So I created for testing purposes. I used this yesterday, just a toddler's graduation performance. So if I want to use it further, I can recut it, remix this, blend it, loop it, and I can even see the prompt and edit it further to make a difference to the output I get. Because I was showing you ChatGPT Plus, so I thought it'll be an opportunity for me to cover this particular feature as well. So without taking any more time, I'll jump on to ChatGPT, personalized ChatGPT particularly. For personalized ChatGPT, you need to just click on your profile and select My ChatGPTs that you have created. So I'll show you right now that one of the ChatGPT I was building for an example I've used in the past, but I wanted to create something that I already had and created in the past, so to give you a context of how I have used it in the past in my role. So before working at Anafrod, I used to work at Kiel University, whereas one of my role was to evaluate different funding applications that was received for the Strategic Innovation and Educational Development Partnership and Innovation in Education evaluation. So we used to give £3,000 for seed and £1,000 for IE evaluation. It used to take a lot of time in evaluating those applications. So imagine if I've received 400 application and humanly it would have taken me few weeks or a month to just review all the application in detail because each application was 3,000 to 5,000 word. So to save time, I created a personalized GPT to help me as an assistant. So first step was I anonymize the names and call it the applicant 1, 2, 3, 4 because I can always check who was applicant 1 from my own sheet. So to make the data remain private. I'll show you a demonstration, but this one I'm only showing you from an understanding perspective how you can configure. So I literally gave it a name and then description and instruction. Instruction was that I'm as a seed and IE evaluator, I wanted to involved and do a comprehensive analysis of applications for seed and IE project funding. And I even gave it a criteria. And so these were all conversation starters. Evaluate the seed project. How does this application align with the seed objectives? Provide feedback on the application project. Assess the innovation level of proposal. So in the actual model, I even uploaded files. I pulled up from the criteria, whatever information we provided to the applicants, I uploaded in the system to help it evaluate the applications for me. And I'll rather start with an example how you can create your own personal GPT. If you want to create your own personal GPT, how you can get started is select create a GPT. And now I can select configure, but literally you can make it as a conversational style. Like I said, we do not have to basically uh, put in the configure and it'll actually do the task for you. So I'll pull up from my notes here what I wanted to do. Um, So let me give it a criteria and I'll show you what I'm giving it. So it'll automatically complete the things for me. I can even add things here. So I've literally given is, and you are a grant evaluator. You are a grant evaluator for a UK University Research Panel. Your task is to review grant applications using the following 7 criteria. You can get as detailed as possible. For each category, assign a score of 10 and write 2-3 sentences of constructive feedback. So I'll feed back into the system. This is how I'm building uh, the personalized chat GPT for my own use case thereafter. So the preview that you're seeing, this could be a preview that you can test while you're doing the system. Because I would not be launching it, I'll only show you how you can create a one. But if you select create once it's created, you can literally share that as a standalone GPT with any other colleagues, whereas they will be interacting with it and you will be able to get the data input in what they have actually inputted in it. So it's creating a profile picture and just processing the data. So basically the instruction that you give it is exactly how we would want the ChatGPT, the personalized one, to behave. It's already given me a even grant evaluator profile picture. So you can see that's a very gender specific. It automatically assumed that I'm a man doing it. Maybe I don't think it has created from my account because I haven't put any gender specificity in my ChatGPT account. So now what I'll do is I will upload some examples in it that I've already put that in my notes and wanted to evaluate as a test so that you can see how it's doing for me.
Anshul,
Yes, please.
sorry to interrupt. So this demo has generated lots of questions in the chat.
Okay.
Just make sure to leave some few
Oh,
minutes
absolutely.
to answer them.
Absolutely. I'll go it very quickly, and
can-
after this, I'll jump onto the questions here.
Yep, perfect.
And so these are the different examples that I've put here. So it's project. I've put 4 projects in the system here. So what I'll do is I'll give it a prompt now. On the criteria provided. So what it'll do is that evaluate those 4 applications, I believe. So it also giving me rating on the projects also. So in this way, if you are having a very mundane task to go and review some of it, it can help you to get started and save you a lot of time. And while it's doing, I'll even read some of the questions how to use AI to write minutes. I'll demonstrate. I'll definitely show you that also. I'll even share some websites. That'll be a very good aspect to get started. So it's also, as you can see, it's even giving me for project 1 to all the projects. So what I could have done is I could have done it pasted in a preview mode as well, but I pasted it while I'm configuring it. So at least I know that the system I built is what I need it to do. to tell the applicants that their submission were being evaluated. I uh, I think I did mention during that at the process that we will be using AI because I was the AI lead at the university. So I did mention that we will be using AI to some degree, and all the data was made anonymized basically before we did that. But Caroline, to answer to your question, we did tell them as an output that it was assessed by AI. But it after the AI did that, it was a human intervention that we had to review all of this based on the scoring and also check back as a sampling method to see whether AI has done that correctly or not. And we did not had only relied on the output that it gave us. But to be honest, ChatGPT Plus works as an assistant for your own assistance. It's not doing the job for you, it's easing the job for you. So it's an easy process for me to review it. I do not have to rely on this. I can literally ask it what details I would want it to produce for me and whether people have done that or not, because in some of the funding people did not even give a clear breakdown of the costing they would be spending when I was doing it. So it was really helpful for me to identify rather than reading it myself. So I gave a very robust criteria and a setup of what I needed to do. So it just helped me with the task. So I still had to do it myself. I did not just rely on the output from the AI, and you shouldn't do that either. Can this kind of review be done by unpaid version? I'm afraid the unpaid version would not be able to do that for you. That review particularly, as well as the ChatGPT Plus account or the personalized ChatGPT that I'm showing you, is only a capability of the paid account, paid version right now that I've been showing you so far. I think I'm mindful of the time. I'll jump back to the normal ChatGPT also. And I must also show you ChatGPT Plus also has a project folder. You can have one project and have multiple files under it. Like I'm doing Anna Freud Digital Academy is a project for me. So I've got different aspects under it. It's an overview, my role task, what is expected of me. I even asked it to review from a project perspective. And then Academy Infrastructure Workshop I was planning, I did ask it to help me frame, give me some suggestions. I'm doing a content work stream, digital capabilities, framework idea. I had it, and seeking feedback is always helpful from your perspective if you wanted to do it for you. And Parisa, I've already answered. It's a custom option only. It's paid version. Yes, Jane, the custom option is only available in paid version, as I mentioned before. But I must mention the paid version is £20 per month. And I would, from my perspective, I use it a lot. And I've got 9 different other tools also which are paid for, and some of them are supported by my organization because my role involves that. But I would suggest from a personal capacity, it's worth, if you think that you use that a lot, it would be really helpful. And you can see ChatGPT 4.5 is a new model, and so it would be essential and would be helpful from an output perspective if you want to be using AI compared to a free model. And our ground application now part of AI system. Emily, like I mentioned, I've closed my data that it shouldn't be reviewed uh, by by any system. But I do agree with you, the risk is there, but you have to spend a little time in ensuring that no confidential information around grant information around costing or different things can be shared if that's the thing you want to preserve from the model and not sharing it further. How does not upload it? It doesn't upload information. And I also anonymize as much as possible. There, so nobody can identify the university, the project, as well as the applicant, even the funding structure. Written grant and my feedback came from AI. I think I do agree with your point, Caroline, that sometimes it does happen. I've seen from job applications also people do that. And so it's just for saving time, but I always encourage people not to rely on the information that you get from AI. You always have to review it yourself. Or an application using. I think this is the thing, Liz. What is happening commonly is even if you are receiving 100 applications, 80% of applications have been written using AI. But if you have used AI extensively and you understand, you can easily pick out what has been written out of AI and what is not. So I use it as a assistive tool rather than writing it for me. I would write it myself and ask it to review for any grammatical errors or tone down to write in a professional manner. If I have to give feedback to the candidates, I've literally taken help of AI to ask, can you write a constructive feedback? And I wrote a very honest feedback. So it really helped me being very mindful of how I'm addressing the feedback for the candidates. and we interviewed 12 candidates. Otherwise, it would have taken me few days or at least a day to write the feedback. But with AI, I could write that in a couple of hours. I did personalize. So like I showed in a presentation, you always have to ensure that you have personalized it and take ownership of the output that you are sending or taking ownership of. You just can't rely on AI directly. Could you do it internal review before submitting? Do you use AI? I think you can customize it as you would want to do it. It doesn't have to do the complete output. It can help you as a part of the process. It can work as a colleague. Just take it as an assistant for you, as an intern working for you. You would not rely on the output that intern is giving you. You have to always evaluate, review whatever your intern might be doing. Intern might be an excellent colleague or professional, but still giving an expert eye over anything that is produced is always advisable. Sarah, think funders have started asking you. I think some places they do also mention that AI would be used in some capacity, but there are also some applications or softwares that you might be using that are also machine learning. So I'm just suggesting AI. People are thinking that AI is new, but AI have been used from many a long time. And before I think if I'll find time, I'll come back to it. But I want to show you few examples. So two applications I want to particularly mention from a note-taking perspective. And this the Fathom AI, it's really a brilliant note taker tool. If your role involves note taker, I think this is a brilliant tool I would suggest. It also works with Zoom or Teams. You can integrate within the software. So it'll record the meeting for you, create a summary of the notes for you, and it can do everything very brilliantly. Even if you'll see some of the chats, some people add a note taker on their behalf so that it's only for themselves that the note taker will make notes on their perspective. So you can use that. Or another one that I could suggest would be Neota. This is another AI note taker tool which we are piloting at the moment at our organization. So I would suggest you can start a free trial and look into it if you want to adopt it at a department or as an institution. But otherwise, you can also use it for in your own personal capacity as well. Otherwise, I would suggest if the meeting is recorded, if you will see the transcript, the even Teams would do an automatic transcript. You can also use the transcript and take the transcript into ChatGPT or any other software to get it into very organized notes. But two websites I wanted to share with you today. I'll share in the chat. One is called AI Tools Directory. So it might be listing thousands of tools that you might want to use. So depending on if you already know the name, you can put the name. If you know the category. If I'll particularly select education, it would give me all the AI tools which are applicable and useful from an education point of view. So similarly, if I only want to use free applications, you can literally go here and select in the categorization in the filter free. So all these applications that I'm listed now are free applications that I can use. And this website has been used a lot by many people, and it also gets updated. And other application I want to suggest would be AI Explorer. So this is another tool which could be helping you understand which AI application you could be using. So you don't have to spend time in looking at any other information on internet or Google to find it. So these websites could help you as long as you have clearly inputted in the category, whether you're going for a free version, free trial version. I think it should help you with any tool finder basically. So this was only a very preview and rush through process. I could have shown you more examples and different applications and how ChatGPT would differ from Copilot or Claude AI, but it's just a time constraint. But let's come back to the questions if I have not answer to you. I'll stop sharing my screen also now. I'm mindful of the
Thank you.
time now.
Thank you so much, Anshul. We are approaching the end of our session, I'm afraid. So we have to close, but I really enjoyed your comments in the chat. I think you would agree that AI is very exciting, but sometimes has its own limitations and risks. And we also need to be mindful of this. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Anshul. So before we close, I just wanted to share that we are excited to suggest an opportunity for you for the second follow-up session, where we will have a chance, all of us will have a chance to present the use cases for research management. So what works, what doesn't work for you in about a month time. So Lindsay, will you share a link to? Okay, I think Karen, sorry, Helen has already.
Helen's got one in there.
Yeah, I can see it now. So Helen has kindly shared a link to the survey where you can show us your appetite for the follow-up session. I think it will be really helpful for all of us. With this, I think we can close. And thank you very much, everyone. Lindsay, is there anything else I missed?